one time, because I'm also an editor, you know, so they hired me. They said, John Mellencamp, you know him?
Who is that?
He's some dude, you know, he had a song called Jack and Diane or something.
He's an artist?
Yeah, he's a performing artist. He used to be John Cougar Mellencamp, but then when Cougar became an older woman that you want to have sex with, I think he dropped the name, and now he's just John Mellencamp. And they said John directed his own music video, and he's not going to come to the session, but you're going to sit with his manager and you're going to edit the video that he directed. Now this video was like all beautiful people, convertibles, and designer snakes, you know? Designer snakes, it's like a yellow snake with like, it looks like a giraffe's neck with spots on it or whatever. And it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
And he shot it, and so I show up the first day and the manager, John Mellencamp's manager, is sitting there. And he says, all right, before we get started, John wants to talk to you on the phone. So he called John, and then John gets on the phone, John Mellencamp there. He goes, I hear, I hear kind of some hot stuff there in New York, you know? I was working for Sony Music Studios at the time, and they produced MTV Unplugged, and they had so many shows. Live by Request was done there. I said, all right. He said, so, listen, if you're that good, you know, I'm not going to even tell you what I want you to do with the footage that I directed and I shot there. You got it all there in front of you, and I'll bet you $1 that you're going to do a great job, and we're going to love it. So, I said, all right, John, thank you. And so we get to work. A couple of days later, I finish editing John's Mellencamp's video with no input at all from him. You know, I'm just trying to figure it out and do something. And the manager goes, great. We'll send it, we'll FedEx a tape to John there. And this was Friday. He said, come in on Monday morning, and by then we'll probably have some reaction from John Mellencamp there. So I come in on Monday morning, and the manager is on the phone. And he's talking, listening there. And then he hangs up the phone, and I said, what's up? He says, you're fired. He said, John thinks you just really effed up the whole thing there. You know, it's not his vision at all. I said, well, I'll tell you two things. One, he never told me his vision. Two, tell him I want that $1.